So what I also recommend doing is continuing to build your business outside of Airbnb. Now, I know that this entire course was based around starting your Airbnb business, but as some of you may know, I do not only operate as an Airbnb host, I also do midterm rentals, listing on places like Furnish Finder, and What's up, entrepreneurs? Welcome in to our next step of this 10-step process of how to start and launch your Airbnb business. Super excited because we're almost at the end, and I can't wait to give you guys some more valuable information that you can take with you into your business as you start and begin to scale. All right. So in our last video, we did a quick recap of everything that we've talked about so far. And of course, as in our last video, we talked about how you guys can start finding cleaners, and even into how you guys can even start your own cleaning company. So with that being said, finding the cleaners kind of branches us off into the topic of hosting our very first guest, right? So I want to just talk to you guys about a few little things that you guys can consider and start to think about as you are hosting your first guest. It'll give you some confidence for you to be able to host more and more guests and just get more comfortable with having people in your unit, right? So when it comes to hosting your first guest, you want to make sure that they know that they're your first guest, right? So you can go as far as simply writing a handwritten note and leaving it there, and even having a basket of snacks, whether it be chips, candy, sparkling wine. So I usually leave sparkling wine, and I honestly do this for all of my guests. I keep my cleaning closet stocked with chips and sparkling wine because not all guests drink. So I do the non-alcoholic beverages, right? So you guys can make little small touches to make your first guest feel very welcome, that they're the first one to bless your home, right? So make sure you guys are thinking of things like that you can be doing to make your first guest feel special. But not only that, you guys can continue to do this throughout your hosting experience, whether it be for short-term or mid-term guests. So what I also recommend doing is continuing to build your business outside of Airbnb. Now, I know that this entire course was based around starting your Airbnb business, but as some of you may know, I do not only operate as an Airbnb host, I also do midterm rentals, listing on places like Furnish Finder, and I also do have partnerships with insurance companies and things like that within my community and within my niche. So when you guys are thinking about expanding your business and continuing to market to other communities, even your vacationers should be included in this process. So what I always like to do is collect information, right? So in that handwritten note, and you guys can talk to your cleaners about this. This is something that I've done, but in that handwritten note, you don't have to customize it with their name. It could be a card, a blank thank you card is what I did. I purchased a packet of blank thank you cards, and you can leave this with your guests, right? Because the point of this all is to be a little bit hands off, so you don't have to physically be at your unit every single day or through every single guest. So you can leave a handwritten note and instruct your cleaners that if the note is still there at the end of the stay, to make sure that they put it back on the table or the countertop, wherever you had it, so that you can continue to market to your guests. But the key is to collect information, names, emails, so that you can put that into your own personal database. If you don't have a website, which I recommend that you do, and we talked about that in our first few videos, and it's also within the checklist that I provided you guys. But if you don't have the website or an email list, you can just put their information on an Excel sheet. So if you leave them a nice little note and tell them to leave you a 5-star review, if they enjoyed their stay, you will give them 10-15% off their next stay. And if they leave you their name and email, that way you could start building out your personal book of business with clients who may return to your units. And if they don't actually return, they will refer someone to return and be able to take advantage of that 10 or 15% discount that you offer. So these are things that you guys can do when it comes to like hosting your first guest, to see what works, what doesn't work. You want to make sure, I do recommend that if at all possible, you do a walkthrough with your cleaners, or to make sure that the unit is clean to your liking, because that first guest is going to be crucial to continue to get those 5-star reviews and build up to your superhost status on Airbnb. Things I want you guys to consider when it comes to hosting your first guest is how many people are they bringing with them, right? So if you, for instance, have a 2-bedroom that sleeps 6 and they're bringing 6 people and you only leave 4 towels out, you're going to get chewed out, or you're going to have an upset guest or a concerned guest, right? So always make sure that you're checking in to make sure that with your cleaners, to make sure that you're leaving enough linens, enough towels, enough toilet paper, enough paper towels out for your first guest. So I just want you guys to take this into account when you guys are hosting your first guest. The main thing I want you guys to do is to consider, how can you make your first guest feel extra special? Try out some things and see what you want to continue to pass on through to your next guest. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in our last and final step 10 in our next video.